Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while since I actually put up a filmed video like this and not just a live stream, and I really want to thank you for your patience with me. I'm not going to apologize, I'm not going to explain. It is what it is, and I feel like we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to adjust to this new normal. So what I wanted to do for today's video is just go through my collection and bring out items that for whatever reason I just haven't talked about in the past. Some of these items have just been kicking around for ages and have just never made it into a video, and others I bought specifically for the purpose of doing a review and then just never got around to doing the review. Relatable, right? So I wanted to put them all in a video, and I thought what better way of doing that than a get ready with me. So all the items I'm about to talk about are on my face right now. Now I know I mentioned it when I started doing my makeup, but I'm just going to throw it out there again. My kids are awake, my kids are home, my kids are loud. And if you want to see just how loud an almost 3-year-old little boy can be on a very consistent basis, just wait till the end. Bennett makes a cameo. All right, and with that said, let's get into the video. All right, so I've zoomed it into what I hope is just shy of uncomfortably close, but still close enough that you can see what it is that I'm doing. You're gonna hear background noise. Yay, quarantine. My kids are both still awake. Bennett is getting close to bedtime and he is losing his mind because he's not in immediate eyesight of his sister. He cries a lot. He'll be 3 soon, if that gives you any explanation for his behavior. We're gonna power through. Barry is up with them. They are fine, but I want to get this done so that I can help do bedtime with Bennett. So, primer. This one is from Good Molecules. This is the Silicone-Free Priming Moisturizer. So it kind of does like dual function. This was gifted to me by Good Molecules, so I just want you to be aware of that. They didn't ask me to review it or to say anything about it. They just offered to give me a few items, and this was one of them. So I have used it a few times. I have been focusing on another primer trying to use it up, but I have used this one a few times and I really like it. I like that it is like more of a moisturizer than a primer, and therefore I feel like I'm actually doing my skin some good with it. It is quite thick, like it looks like an actual moisturizing lotion, but it does blend in very nicely and absorbs really quickly, so I quite like that. And as the name would suggest, it is silicone free, so it doesn't have that like silicone slip that silicone primers have. It honestly does feel like a moisturizer. There's no greasiness to it, there's no stickiness to it, there's no scent to it, nothing that I can pick up anyways. And like I said, it just absorbs really nicely and really quickly into the skin, but it feels like you are just adding a little bit of hydration. So I don't really need to let it sit because it's already absorbed, which is amazing. So I'm going to go in with foundation then. And I'm going to use a really fancy, expensive one from Peau. And this is the cream foundation. I have it in the shade B20. I found this at Winners, so I think I paid $30 for it, I believe it was. Whereas if I had bought it online or from wherever the hell Peau is actually sold, it would have cost significantly more than that. Like I think it's upwards of, I want to say like 100 and like north of 150, like 160, 170-ish for this. I would never. But I found it for 30 and thought, well, what the hell? Why not try something super fancy and expensive for not a super and fancy expensive price? And I have to say, I'm glad on a multitude of levels, but I'm glad that I did not pay full price for it because I don't know why it's so expensive. Like, just honestly speaking, I don't really see what justifies that price point. The ingredients don't feel particularly luxe. It doesn't do anything particularly amazing for my skin. You could do half of my face with like Maybelline Fit Me and it's still gonna look and feel the same, basically. So I'm glad that I got it on the reduced price. I'm glad that I got to try it, and I will use it. It's not that I dislike it, it's just I certainly can't sit here and say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna repurchase this when this is done, because it's totally worth the price point. It's, in my opinion, not. Although I will say the match is going pretty good from what I can see, which is good. I'm in that awkward post-vacation stage now where the darkest of the products that I have is now too dark, but my regular products are too light, so I'm having to like do like chemistry and mix everything together and try to get a shade that works. So I'm quite pleased that this one actually is just working straight out of the bottle. It's kind of, I'd say like a medium coverage. Like it's definitely not full coverage. I think you could build it up a bit and it would still, like it would layer nicely on itself, but it's not full coverage straight out of the gate. It's not particularly mattifying, like it's what I would consider to be like a natural finish. And it sits nicely on the skin. Like I'm not knocking it, it's just when the price is that high, I expect something amazing out of it, and it's not amazing. There it is. I will say it's not super tacky. It's not like greasy on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It is a very lightweight feeling foundation, so I do like it for that. It's just the price point kind of kills me. And also, speaking of price points that kill me, let's move on to concealer, also from Clé de Peau. Also found at Winners for a song compared to what it actually retails for. So this is the Broad Spectrum SPF Stick Concealer, and I have it in, what shade is this? Just Ivory, it's called. So obviously, as the name would suggest, it is a stick concealer. I suspect this is going to be too light for this current situation, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna put a little bit here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be way too light. So what I have been doing is going in with my Stellar Concealer. This one is in the shade S03, which when I read the description, I thought it was gonna work for my skin tone, but it is, as you can see, much darker than I am, even when I am as tanned as I am. But that's working in my favor right now because it's a good like mixing medium, if you will. So I'll just add a little bit in here just to deepen up the Clé de Peau one. And then I will blend that into place. I have to say the timing of the vacation that led to this tan, I couldn't be more grateful for, because we got back to Canada on March 8th and then it was like March 11th, I think, when everything just went like bananas. And then the week after that, that's when like the whole self-isolation thing really started. So I'm glad that I was able to enjoy that with my daughter relatively stress-free. We were obviously aware of what was going on, but it hadn't reached like the critical mass point yet. So it was still like talking with people around the pool and everything, and everybody's like, what? Like, should we be really concerned? Is this really just like a glorified flu? Like, what is this? And then it was about a week later that we were like, oh, no, not a glorified flu. Something much more serious than that. And then it just like everything steamrolled. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I know I haven't been posting many videos. I just haven't had the energy. Honestly, like just the mental and emotional capacity to do it. Yeah, and I know some people, like my friend Lacey over at Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, she's been getting a lot of just like unnecessarily mean comments, just based on what her content has been. And it's like, can we not all, like, if a global pandemic where hundreds of thousands, if not more, are predicted to die, if that can't unite us, can anything? I think that's like one of the biggest eye-opening tragedies of this whole thing is that it's just like, there's nothing that can unite us. Like, people are just going to continue to be assholes, unfortunately. Moving on from there, before the concealer creases, I am going to set it. So again, setting powder is one of those things where I'm kind of having to mix and match. When I initially returned from vacation, I was using this one from Jouer. This is the Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. It's in the shade Light, but it is rather dark for being light, and it does add a little bit of coverage. So this was perfect at first, but now it's starting to be like too much darkness or too much tone, shade. Words are failing me. Too much of this under here. So what I have is one that I don't think I've talked about this one. It's from Too Faced. It's the Banana Cream. It's banana setting powder. Just looks like that. It has like little bananas in the pan. There it is. Again, another winner's find. So I'm going to try with this one. If this is too light, then I'll mix in some of this, but we're just going to try with this one. I can't say anything particularly good or bad about this powder, to be honest. It's just kind of there. Like, it's not something that I would necessarily want to declutter, but it's also not something that I would put on my list of like must replaces, must be replaced. You know what I'm saying. It's good, but it's not revolutionary or groundbreaking. But overall, like, it is translucent, so I'm happy about that. I'm not seeing any like white cast where I need to go in with the darker one. So I'm just going to set that one aside so I don't confuse myself. And it does set things down into place. So again, it's one of those products that's like a fully functional product. It's not bad, it's not great. I have it, I'll use it, but it's just not on my top of, like the top of my list of things that I would want to ensure I always have one of. Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, on the other hand, that is one that I always want to have around. This one, once it's done, I'll be happy to let it go. I will set the rest of my face in a moment using that, but I have a cream bronzer that I want to use, so I'm going to apply that one now. This one is from Tarte, and this is the Breezy Cream Bronzer in Seychelles. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. This was one of the last makeup products that I have purchased. So as I said, cream bronzer. When I initially came back from holidays, this was the exact same color as my skin, so it never showed up. So let's give her a try now and see what we can do. I'm just going to pick it up with a brush. I will say that I do like how blendable this product is. Sometimes I find that cream products can just sit really stiffly on the skin and they're hard to blend out, or alternatively, they just blend into nothing. This one you can actually see versus, like, it makes an impact, which also means that I'm returning to my regular color, which is fine. I like my regular color, and I am certainly not about to jump into the self-tanner boat, because who's seeing me? Nobody. My family, and I guarantee you they don't care what color my face is. My kids care that I make them meals and give them hugs, of course. So this one I actually do like, and it has like no real scent to it, no artificial scent to it. It does have a very light smell of like whatever the product is, but there's no like coconut scent added or anything like that. It blends really nicely. It doesn't produce any like shine or anything like that. As you can see, it doesn't sit like sticky on my face. It just blends in really nicely. So I'm actually a fan of this. It did come, like there was a brush that you could buy that went with it, but when I looked at the pictures of it online, the brush just looked like it would be too flimsy for this kind of product, like a cream product. So I opted not to purchase that. This little stubby brush here is working out quite nicely, actually. Okay, now that that is on, I will go ahead and just set my face quickly using that banana powder again, and then I will come back and we will move on from there. And we're back. I've also done my contour. And I've talked about this product a million times, so I didn't bother putting it on screen. It's the Cali Contour Kit from Smashbox. And this contour shade is, it's just perfection, at least on my skin tone anyways. So that's what I used for that. Let's go in with blush. I'm going to use the Jouer Bouquet D'Amour blush palette. It was limited edition, but I still see it kicking around on the Sephora website, or at least it was there the last time I looked at Jouer. Don't quote me, it might not be there anymore. But at any rate, I'm going to use this one, if only because I don't really ever use it. So why not use it now? What shade? I'm gonna go in with a light pink, because why the hey not? I'm gonna try this shade up here. It is Know Me is what it's called. And it looks to have a little bit of a shimmer in it. I have decided, after purchasing this palette and then the one that they released this holiday with like the little jewels on it, this one here, that I'm not going to buy any more face palettes from Jouer. What I would prefer to see them do is offer two, like at least two different selections, so that they have like a lighter option and then a deeper option, because these palettes tend to try to cover all of the bases. So there's that one, and then the Rose Cut Gems one you can see here. So a lot of them are quite light, and then you have really dark shades over here. I can only use half of it, and then these shades are kind of like, I could maybe use them as eyeshadows, but at any rate, I wish that they would have, even if it's a trio for lighter, like light to medium, and then a trio for medium to deep, or just deep, I think would make more sense, because people would get better use out of it. That being said, the blushes themselves are nice, like the powders are nice, but I'm just not going to get a whole lot of use out of this, which is evident because I haven't got a whole lot of use out of it. Okay, so for highlighter then, I'm going to use the little highlighter duo from Smokey Glow and Midas Cosmetics. You can see that I finger swatched it, but I've never actually applied it to my face. I just got this, I think it arrived 2 days ago, I think. So I haven't had a chance to, ow, elbow. I haven't had a chance to play around with it, so what better time than now? So I'm going to use the shade Yasss, which is this one right here, and see how she goes. Now, when I was thinking about filming this video, I thought like, oh, she's pretty. Great job, Hannah. So pretty. Anyways, I was thinking like, do I talk about how I'm doing? Do I talk about what I'm grateful for and try to put a optimistic spin on things? Like, what do I do? And last night I did a 3-hour live in which we all sort of shared our feelings, and it was very therapeutic, and it was very, very uplifting, honestly. It really made a huge difference in my feelings. So thank you guys. I'm like, thank you. Sorry, I'm looking for a brow product. There it is. Sigma. I don't even think I've used this. Maybe once. It's the Tint and Tame Brow Gel, obviously from Sigma, as I just said. And it's got a rather aggressive looking wand on it, but let's give her a go. I interrupted myself. We just all need to be kind to each other. That's basically what it is. There's an awful lot of criticism that I'm seeing, not towards me, which, thank you. I also haven't produced an awful lot of content for there to be criticism on, but regardless, I've seen other people, like other creators who I really enjoy and really like, not only just their content, but their actual personhood, receiving unfair comments, and there's just no need for it. Like, we are all in the same boat. And these people who feel like they're not in this same boat and that they can continue to do whatever it is that they want to do, because if somebody else happens to get sick, it's that person's problem. I have no time for that. I have no patience for that. That's just such a self-centered, I don't even know the words, selfish way to think about it. I mean, the longer we all resist this, the longer we continue to act like it's not an actual thing, the longer and the worse the problem's going to be. So let's all suck it up and do our part to keep humanity safe. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox on that one. I don't know that that's my favorite brow gel. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not. It's already getting really like sticky. Sorry, that looks weird. But I can like feel my eyebrows. Yeah, they're like super sticky. I mean, if you want a tinted brow gel that's gonna lock everything into place, the Sigma one might be the one you're looking for, but I don't like being actually aware of my eyebrows. Anyways, I'll move on from it because now I'm just making really weird faces and looking very suggestive, but I'm not a huge fan of that product in particular. Okay, before I move on to eyes, I am going to set my face. It's just a weird habit that I've gotten into. I don't know why, but that's the way that I prefer to roll, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. Again, I don't think it's one that I've talked about. I have used it several times in the... This is why I don't talk about it. This is why I don't use it very often. It's very aggressive. Let's see. Oh, you see that? Like, like you can hear it splattering down. It's not a fine mist. Let's put it that way. Okay, we'll try it one more time. If it continues to spit on me, we're gonna have a problem. Now I can't even feel it. What did I do to you? Why are you so rebellious? What's going on here? There we go. Jeez. And now it's such a fine mist that I don't even really feel it. I don't like this setting spray. I don't. Maybe in a different bottle, but, and like it's all over. Focus, like, it looks a little suspicious. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh. I'm gonna prime my lids. This is the first time I've used this product. This is the Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base from Nars. So this is a first impression. It's a little doe foot applicator. As you can see, I have no idea if it's gonna be like a really light base or if that's gonna become clear. But I guess we're gonna find out soon enough. All right, well, it's blending away into a clear base. Largely clear anyways. And it's not sticky. So if you like a sticky base, this one is not sticky. I happen to like it like this, so that's okay with me. I don't know that I'm in a rush to go out and buy it. We'll see how the eyeshadow applies over top of it, but so far so good. The eyeshadow that I'm going to use is the new mini from Natasha Denona. This is the mini retro palette. I don't really know what's retro about it, to be honest. These are not colors that scream retro to me. I think, I could be wrong on this, but I think it was supposed to be like 60s inspired. I don't see it, but it is a pretty color scheme. I did not buy the Millennial Pink palette from Melt. And this is a good replacement or a good alternative in my mind. Obviously not as many shades, but a functional number, and the color story works better in my opinion than what was contained in the Millennial Pinks. So also a better price point. I'm gonna go in with that matte pinky shade here and use that up in the crease. I am going to pick up this shade here and put that on like the outer half of my lid. That's pretty. I like that. That's a pretty shade. All right, on the inner portion of the lid then, I'm going to use this shimmery pink shade over here, if it'll focus. There we go. So I'm gonna pick that one up on a smaller flat shader brush. And this one does not look like it's gonna be nearly as shimmery as the other. So we'll see how it goes. I can feel a little bit of fallout on my face with that one. Maybe a little bit more than a little, to be honest. But we'll keep working at it. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's like, it's not my favorite shade. For me, it's just a personal thing. For me, I like shimmery shadows to be like super shimmery. And this one's not super shimmery. It's not a bad shade at all. Just not quite as metallic as I would like it to be. All right, I'm gonna pick up this shade in the middle here and use that along my lower lash line. I love that shade. I love it. It's smoky without being intense. It blends beautifully. You do have to tap off the excess. It is a soft shadow, so it does kick up quite a bit in the pan, but there's none on my face. And it's just so easy. It's so easy. Like, this is the kind of look that you get if you apply like a tiny bit of black and then spend forever buffing it out. This is like effortless smokiness. I love it. I'm really happy with that. All right, finally, for my inner corner, I'm going to use the shade over here, which I suspect I'm not going to have any issues with how shimmery this one is because it does have little flecks of glitter in it. And can you see it on there? It's really pretty. That's super pretty. Just for poops and giggles, I'm going to use my baby finger and just top up that inner portion of my lid with a little bit of that same shade from the inner corner. There we go. There we go. All right, so that's eyeshadow done. Now an eyeliner that I don't think I've talked about is from Gerard Cosmetics, and this is the Eternal eyeliner. It comes in like a little container like that. It is in, oh, it says shake before use. Okay, it is black, but I don't think there's a name, like a shade name on it. Let's bring it out, take a look. It's like a felt tip applicator. Not too long, not too short. It has a bit of flexibility at the end to it, which I like because when there's no flexibility, I just find that it's like altogether too aggressive. So let's go ahead and try to keep myself in frame while I apply that. I'm just gonna do a little baby flick today. It's nice. It doesn't like drag across itself. It doesn't grab at itself. Again, like I've only pulled the wand out once. I haven't had to go back in and really layer things up. It applies really smoothly. There's no jagged lines to the line words. And then this is precise enough to get a nice little point on that little baby wing as well. So This is one that I really do like, and I also don't find that it flakes or cracks or anything like that. Liners where you have to like build it up and build it up and build it up, they're like inevitably going to crack on your lid because you've had to apply so much product. So when you can just go in once and just get your entire lash line lined, oh my god, how many times have I said line? You can tend to avoid that problem. Another nice thing is that it's not feathering anywhere. Good thing to avoid. And doesn't transfer either. So that's nice. It does dry quickly, but not too quickly. There is like a sweet spot. All right, now for mascara. The one that I have here is from Pat McGrath. This is the FetishEyes mascara. Obviously, it's just a deluxe size sample. I have some feelings about the wand on this. So there is no taper to be had in this wand. I am not, I've said this before, I'm not one, like I don't care if it's these kind of bristles or if it's rubber, I don't care about that kind of thing. There's no taper, and that makes it difficult, in my opinion. So out here, no problem. I don't have any issues at all, but as I get into the inner corner, especially because my eyes are a little bit more deep set, it's a high risk maneuver. I almost always stab myself in the nose. Or when I'm doing my lower lash line, I almost always get mascara on my face because of the shape of this wand. I'm gonna try very hard not to. I touched, did it? Nope. Good, good, good. Crisis averted. So I would prefer if there was a little bit of a point. It would just make it easier and reduce mascara anxiety. This is one that once it's done, I will bid it farewell. I will have enjoyed our time together, but I don't see myself replacing this one. All right, so then that leaves us with lips, and I honestly don't know if I've talked about these or not. I don't think that I have, but I might have. If I have, forgive me. I'm just going off the top of my head. Tower 28. These are the lip jellies. So I bought like a duo pack, I think around Christmas time. I have the shade XOXO, and I also have Magic. This one I don't think you can buy on its own, but this one you definitely can. I think, I'm not sure. Anyways, they are sort of like a hybrid between a lip gloss and a lip oil. And I am becoming a huge, no, not becoming, I am a huge lip oil fan lately. I really just enjoy how easy they are and how comfortable they are. I was a die-hard liquid lipstick fan for ages, and I am moving away from that, which is kind of sad because I have a million of them, but I just like how effortless these are. I am going to top that one with, what shade was it? Magic. This one's more of like a clear kind of situation with a lot of glitter in it. And with that, that's a full face of products that I don't think I've talked about on my channel. And we're done. Bye-bye. Sorry, I don't know why I keep doing that. Well, the reason I do that is because I don't really know what else to say. Longtime subscriber, Saucer Jess, has asked me to include transfer tests when I talk about foundations. So, I don't really know how to do that. I have lots of clothes around here. Let's see, what have I got here? A black t-shirt. That should work nicely. I am going to do it on the inside though, because then I don't have to do laundry. So, black t-shirt. Well, I'm pressing, like you can see my jaw. I'm pressing it. Gonna wiggle a little bit. Not necessarily gonna like drag it down my face because I don't think that's like a realistic scenario that's gonna happen. But as you can see, nothing's really come off. There might be like a little hint of it. Yeah, you can see a little hint of it there. Never mind. My bad. You can see it. But that could be the powder. Am I supposed to do these like transfer tests before I put powder on? I don't know how they work. So there is a bit, but at least under friggin' studio lighting, I don't see like a handprint or anything like that. You know, sometimes like you press and like you can see where you've pressed, like it just messes up the foundation. I'm not seeing that. Let's see, where's a place where I haven't put highlighter? I highlight effing everything. Let's press against my chin. It's a very small test area. Let's see. We'll wiggle, wiggle it, just a little bit, wiggle it. Yeah, okay, so it still does show up a little bit if you do the wiggly thing. If it just presses against and then comes off, that apparently isn't doing anything, but it's very likely one of those things where as you're putting on a shirt, it could transfer. All right, that's that. If you have suggestions on how to improve the transfer test, I'm all ears. Let me know. Also, let me know how you guys are doing. How are you coping? Are you having to leave your house to go to work? Are you hunkered down and staying safe in your home? How are you passing the time? All that kind of thing. Let me know what's keeping you busy, because I'm looking for ideas as well. But other than that, I just wanted to share some products that I don't think I've shared before, because I haven't really been buying makeup. Aside from this is the only thing that I've bought in the last probably 3 or so weeks. I did order this one at the very beginning of March, and then this one whenever it came out. But other than that, I haven't bought any other makeup, so I'm really trying to just rediscover what I have and share what I have with you guys, because I know, at least for myself, I'm not just all about buying the brand new makeup. There's makeup that sits on my wish list for ages, and I still want to know if it's any good. So hopefully I can help. All right, feel free as always as well to leave any suggestions on videos that you want to see. Again, I'm not in a great headspace for filming, but I feel like I'm getting better. I'm starting to establish a routine for myself, because not only is the world upside down, which we're all struggling with, I think, but I'm home, my husband's home, my kids are home, I'm still trying to work, still trying to put up content, I'm still trying to like just cope with everything, I'm trying to help my other family members cope with everything, and it can be a bit much. But I'm always happy to hear suggestions. Might not do them all, but I'm always happy to hear them. Okay, and now I'm rambling, so I am going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I will see you in my next video, and until then, stay home and be a decent human being. Bye for now.
Is that all your things?
Those are all my things. Can you, can you look in there, can you say carrot again?
Carrot! No, Mama!
Where did you learn Joe Mama? You're so sick.
No, Mama!
Oh my God, you're too much. Okay, can you look in here and say, bye-bye, it's time for bed. Are you ready to go to bed?
Okay,
I want a kiss.
look here and say, good night, everybody.
Go. You are a ham and a half. Give me hugs. Give me hugs, you. Oh, I love you so much.
You gotta say